Selling your home in 2025. Well, what's it going to be like this year? Well, I find that I'm consistently doing the same things over and over, but there's a few things that I wanted to tell you today. Got a couple, I think, essential tips, I call them. No fluff here. Things that may be a little off the wall, but there's just things that I don't know if you've heard before. I want to make sure that you like and subscribe as well. I need 1,000 subscribers. Help me out. I would really appreciate that. And just giving you what I think what comes out of Diane's head. So this is a lot of stuff. But let's start with one thing I really want to talk about is health and wellness. It's really what buyers are looking for. I'm going to tell you, they're concerned about looks, but they like safe, they like clean. They don't like hazards. They don't like mold. No one does, but it's just a 4-letter word. It's really bad. Or if they say you have termites, or there's poor ventilation, or outdated plumbing. Buyers are running from that. And if you live in an area where most of the houses are older, you have to compensate in other ways. So what I do is get a pre-listing inspection. Kind of uncovers hidden problems of mold or faulty wiring, and these buyers, then they feel more comfortable walking in the door with a piece of paper talking about all the things that are wrong with the house and things that have been fixed. Because what we do then is we show them a report and we say, hey, here's the things that we fixed. So if you have a healthy home and it's hazard-free and free of bugs and things, it just makes it more marketable. And that's why getting the inspection is a good way to handle that. Okay, and I do have a link below with a video about the pre-home inspection report, and I do have a book, Home Selling Sharks, that goes through that whole reason why you want to get a home inspection. Next is feedback is key. You need to make sure your agent is on top of this, but they don't do that. They don't call you before they show it and say, hey, what type of buyer do you have? What's going on? It's kind of your roadmap getting these things. You need to know if your price is too high. You need to know what people are saying when they walk through the door. Because if you have your house on the market and you don't have any offers, at least in our area, in the first 5 or 7 days, the home, something's wrong. And it's usually the price, because the house can only do so much to the house, right? And this current market, people aren't biting for that. So pay attention to the feedback. Feedback tells you what to do next. So if you're getting showings, but you're not getting any offers, you're probably about 3 or 4% off your mark. Take the price of your home, take it down to 3%, 4%, talk to your realtor, and that's where you should move it to. And do it quickly. Do not sit on the market, okay, with a house that's not selling when you're getting all this feedback. Because if you're getting hardly any showings, you might be 6 to 12% off, all right? So you have to kind of use that as a gauge. I have a feedback gauge I give to my clients. If you're interested, just let me know, comment below, and I'll send that out to you. Next is photos or artwork or pictures on your wall. You can have a few key ones here or there if you have something that's bold, but listen, if you have personal photos out, you know this is just something you see everywhere on the internet. Says what to do. You have a whole wall of your kids when they grew up from when they were 2 to when they're 18. Take them off the wall. We're going to paint anyway. You keep it simple, okay? You can have like a piece of artwork, but not your family photos. Because too much personal stuff, it just feels off-putting. Nobody wants to see you. They want to see their family. And a bare wall, they can see their pictures on the wall walking through the door. Next, trendy organic shapes. Buyers don't want trendy or organics or quirky designs or trend, or maybe it's an Arizona house or any theme through your house. Get rid of the themes, guys. They want the basic stuff, classic neutral designs that won't feel outdated in a few years. So if you do some crazy unconventional curves or organic shapes or eccentric forms, it's only going to appeal to a small fish. And you're in a pond, you want all the fish to come eat your food, right? Come to your house. They want functional and timeless. And when it comes to furniture and fixtures, stick to clean, classic lines. If you don't have some crazy furniture, let's get it out. Keep it minimalistic. Avoid too wild stuff. If you have like a wild carpet, I had this one house that had the wild carpet. We just took it out and put a regular carpet there. It just didn't look good. And it was on the market for 6 months. I did my staging. I sold it in, I think, 6 days. And that was on the market when people, houses weren't selling. Well, the average days in the market was 150. My average days was 26. Now the average days in the market's like 50, and our average is an hour, maybe 2. But 2 days, by the time we get the offers in and everything. But that's what you want. If you're looking for a realtor in your area, I can give you one who can do these things for you. But I just sold last year 8% more. I was 8% higher for all my average houses that I sold, 8% higher. I got prices 8% higher than they were listed because of everything we did. There was one house that was listed for $850, expired. No one wanted it. They had an offer of $780. So I said, listen, let's spend $25,000, and we did. Put it back on the market for $899 and sold it for $910. Okay, so it's all perception. So say you got an offer. Next one, I call it short contingency periods, because say you get this offer and now it's time to negotiate. Now the market's really competitive. You really don't need to waste time with buyers who want like 3 months or, oh, I want 3 months, I need to sell my house first, or all that stuff. You want short contingency periods. You want short settlement times, okay? Now, most of my buyers aren't doing contingency, which like a term, like an inspection, because we do the inspections ahead of time. And what happens is they start dragging their feet. And when you have longer contingency periods, buyers will back out. They get cold feet. 10-day max, okay? And also shorten up that appraisal contingency as well, or make sure you don't even have one. So keep a short window. These buyers need to stay on track, and the way to do that is shortening up the contingency periods, all right? Very important. If you're learning something, put a comment below. There's some great stuff here. I have so many more of these. I could be on here for an hour. Like I said in the last comment, quick closings. Get it done. If it's dragged out, it's not good. Now, if you need to stay in the house, maybe you can do a rent back. Settle and stay in the house. Better than a longer closing period. Like if you are building a house and you need 3 more months, settle now and stay in their house for 2 months. Find that buyer who will do that for you. Speed is important. The quicker you close, the more likely it's going to go through. Shorter period. I'd have an offer in on a house right now, and they want it till like the end of March. It's almost 2 months, a month and a half. I saw it was like 2 months. It's 2.5 months. So what I did was I went back to them. Listen, we need a quicker settlement. We'll drop the price a little bit further just for you. Like we'll come down, which we don't usually do. And that's how negotiation comes in. You know, you have to think of all these things. Also, shorter avoids complications. It gets, I guess it puts the ball in your court, and the buyers, you need to set the tone. You're in control, not them. Just minimize your risk, guys. And of course, next I want to talk about is pricing. It's really critical. I talk about that all the time. It's the most common mistakes people are making, and why houses are staying on the market longer is because they're priced too high. I was doing a search the other day, and all these listings that were on the market for at least a month or two were all so overpriced. Horrible pictures, staging. It was a joke. I was showing one of the buyers a list of all the houses that are for sale. I said, oh, this one's not worth more than that. We can go in there and our painters can do that for you. And they actually are now starting to look at houses that need work that are overpriced. You know, they might not be ready to take our price now, but as you see that first price drop, you just jump at it, right? So make sure we don't overprice. Buyers are just price sensitive. I always do is price the house slightly below the market value. That generates more interest, because more buyers are thinking today, well, if the house is 600, I can afford up to 600, I'm only going to look up to 550, right? That's what happens. And when you dial in that bullseye price, you're going to have a lot more interest, a lot more people, a lot more eyeballs looking at your property, and you'll attract a lot more serious buyers. As soon as you overprice, you get buyers that are just come at you with different things, and they slow you down. I've never had a seller who took a higher price actually kept that price. The buyer came back and lowered it even though we did an inspection, they came back and wanted more done. So I learned that when I was a new realtor, and I will never do that to my seller. I think overpriced homes just shout out, what's wrong with me? You know, as soon as you get past 7 days in our area, you're overpriced, or it just doesn't look good. Maybe the price, it would be right if the house just looked better. And next we have decluttering. You know, you got to get your stuff out. You can't sell. I just went to a house the other day. I showed it to a buyer and I opened the door and the stuff almost fell out of the closet. It was just, all their personal stuff was around. It's just the simplest way and most effective way to make your house more appealing. You know, unnecessary furniture, your closets need to be absolutely cleaned out. Do not put your home on the market with stuff all over the place. Personal pictures. And buyers want to imagine their things in your home. Make it really feel organized. They don't want to see how you live. They want to see how they're going to live. So unclutter, make it open, get the buyer's confidence. I'm going to be doing it before, after. I do a couple of those every quarter. I do one showing all the different before and after pictures we've done. I'm doing a seminar on February 1st, and you can watch it live on Zoom if you'd like to see kind of the things that we're doing and talk about the top concerns that are going on in the market. Click the link below. It's dianecardano.com to sign up for our seminar on Zoom, which is going to be this Saturday. And lastly, just talk about mortgage rates. Now, they really impact the affordability. If rates are they've been getting to be over 7, it's going to impact the sale of your home. So you have to really watch what the rates are, and they're going to be really volatile this year. So if you really want to sell your house, just price it more competitively, and then be aware of what's going on with the current interest rates, because then it'll really affect your buyer pool, okay? Because once you price it too high, it's going to feel out of reach to the buyers, and no one's going to come see it, okay? The idea is to get a buyer who really want your home and they're not going to give you any agita, right? That's what happens with the buyers when you overprice your home. And one more I want to talk about is when you're interpreting the feedback. Now I talked about feedback, getting the feedback, finding out who's showing your home, what buyers are walking through your home. So getting your realtor to call the people who are showing the house before they get there and then when they leave, because feedback tells you what to do next. Like, so for example, your home's too dark or it's too small. Then you have to adjust your strategy. Or maybe you can increase your lighting. Maybe we can do things to brighten things up. Maybe we take it off the market and paint it, things that you didn't want to do, now we need to do. Maybe rearrange the furniture. Just listen to the feedback. So not only should they call the realtor ahead of time, finding out what kind of buyers are walking through your door, exactly what you want to do is when they leave, you want to make sure they're calling them, or they have a system that calls them. I want to know, ask them the right questions, not just, do they want to buy the house? You know, I rarely get feedback calls, but we always call every realtor that shows the house for feedback. So what's up for 2025? Stay sharp, stay informed. Come back to my Real Deal channel. Subscribe, please. I need your help. 1,000 subscribers in the month. And if you need help with your real estate needs, I got the realtors for you all over the country who are Real Deal as well. I'm doing a lot of probate lately, divorce, working with empty nesters. We got you covered. Have a great day.